Hello, everyone. Today, we'll be talking about a scientist who was responsible for a lot of damage to the human society and also one of the greatest inventions at that point when he did it. So, of course, we're talking about Thomas Midgley Jr., who invented ethyl or triethyl acetate, which was used in fuel and gasoline, which increased the fuel efficiency, and it helped and it created the reason of the new octane system. That's where it began from. So what Midgley did was he was trying to find a fuel that could reduce engine knocking and help out in ways to increase an engine's efficiency and its lifetime. And he experimented with many chemicals like camphor and petroleum jellies and everything, but nothing worked very good. And then he landed upon triethyl acetate, which looks like this. Sorry, triethyl lead, which looks like this. And triethyl lead increased the efficiency. It didn't have a foul odor or anything like that. And it was very helpful in increasing fuel efficiency. The only downside of triethyl lead was it contained lead in there, and that was a big problem. People at that time didn't notice it, but Midgley knew the danger of using lead in the fuel. And this lead was being burnt and sorry, and was being smoked out from the cars into the atmosphere. And this created a very huge issue in our society that we still deal with today. So why are we talking about lead? So that much amount of lead that we see in the picture is enough to poison a child. And that could lead in a child's decreased mental growth. So if we go to the next page, we can see that fact that why lead is toxic is that it affects brain, kidney, liver, blood, and the reproductive system. For young kids, it may lead for intellectual disability, underperforming at school, and behavioral issues. And in adults, it could lead to a stroke or heart diseases. And even in pregnant women, it could affect the developing fetus as well. So when we talk about brain, what does lead do to the brain? So for the brain, lead attacks the neurons and affects the melanin sheath, the yellow part that you see in the picture. It affects that. And basically, melanin sheath is the one that controls uncontrolled discharges. And when it affects that, it basically lowers down your IQ. Other disadvantages of lead is it can cause it mimics calcium in your body, so it takes place of calcium and deteriorates your bone health. Other picture that I can make you see is right here, where lead has entered the joint bones and it's affected the bone health. Also, lead was being used back in early ages as well, but it recently starting to being used in the Industrial Revolution when Midgley found that it increased fuel efficiency. Also, there were other studies that were conducted that explained that high level of lead could lead in low IQ in children and adults as well. Also, it explained that people who were born 20 years ago in the period where leaded fuel was being used, we kind of see a same graph that explains us that a lot of violent crimes were being conducted 20 years later when those kids became adults. And this is not just for the United States. This study was conducted in Australia, Canada, Britain, and the results were mostly the same. I'm not saying that lead is responsible for increased crime rates, but yeah, lead did lead to a decreased brain efficiency. So there you have it, guys. Lead could be very dangerous, and it's still being used in propeller-driven aircrafts. And we can see that a little bit of lead is very dangerous for kids, but it's also pretty dangerous for adults as well. So right now, CDC has no limit on lead. Basically, they're saying that lead is banned; it shouldn't be used. But there's no other alternative in some industries other than leaded fuel. So we need to come up with solutions where we can find something and get rid of lead. Also, these pictures were provided by one of the YouTube channels called Veritasium, where they talked about this topic, and and it helped me with this presentation as well. Thank you.